I don't know. What are we going to do today? What are we thinking of? Are you showing him this winter?
I'm not sure. What I'd like to do at least to be able to write a second level test, and whether or not I show it or not.
So we're going to work on the counter cannon today for sure. Okay.
He's very close to changes too.
Yeah, I know he's very close to changes. I can see that.
Yeah.
But then I have to let go of the
Yeah,
counter
then we
canner.
have the second level is the pits. I hate second level.
Second level is the pits, but you know what the problem with not skipping second level is? You need to learn how to ride those movements.
Yes.
And that's my reasoning for making my riders ride second level. Not because I think it's a great level or the horses love it, but damn it, you need to learn how to do canter walks, and you have to do walk canters, you need to know how to shoulder in, haunches in,
Yeah.
and 10-meter circles. So you need to learn those stupid movements and to hold the counter canter.
Yeah.
And every time I've skipped third level, people don't work on that stuff.
But you're just at the point where you hope you can do changes, and then you have to work on counter canter and tell them not to change.
Yeah, and then you get to fourth level and you don't have you kept on those things.
Exactly.
What a lovely guy. Okay, friend, let's trot. So it's not that I'm like fixated on second level, except I think you need to be, if you can do a second three at home, I don't care if we can put the changes on and do it and leave it go. You know, I just think you should be able to do that test. Because that test, the second three test, asks all the correct questions, in my opinion. Yeah. Yeah, because I think once you can do that, I think that you've learned the skill level you need. What a good boy. How does he feel today? I know he worked. Okay, yeah, no, I was going to say he looks really good. I wasn't sure if he'd be tired today or not, but he's a worker, this horse. Good boy.
Gabby.
Tiny bit more forward, just a tiny bit. Yep, and a little bit rounder left. Just just little corrections. That's it. Is his friend calling for him?
Yes.
Yes.
His idiot friend. They're very bonded.
Good boy. Good boy. 10-meter circle, just for practice. Did I lose you?
Is he losing his...
Nope. Is it
Are
falling
you
out?
losing your sound system?
I may need to push my... Hang on a second. One halt. Halt for a second. I may have unplugged you. When you moved.
Maybe
Yeah, this might
I
have
got
just...
my whip caught up in the wire.
There you go. Now we're back. Should we move the wire? Let me wrap the wire around this thing. So it doesn't cause so much. There we go. Yeah, we don't need to tie up your whip in the wire and it all went to hell. Okay, let's try it again. He says, well, that was weird. Good boy. You can just tell he just takes a second or two to get balanced and then he gets back to work, doesn't he?
He's a little tense still.
Good. And just make sure you can bring his nose a little to the counterflexion for like 3 or 4 steps without him yet straighten. Now just the nose. He wants to take his whole body there. So straighten. Just you can move just the tip of his nose and then back to the left again without his body changing its bend too much. That you can own the end. That's right. Feel what I mean? So he doesn't, every time he took his nose left, his shoulder fell right, and every
Yeah.
time he took his nose right, his shoulder fell left. So I want to be able to manipulate the end of the neck just to loosen it without him getting crooked. That, you know, is like a long-term homeworky goal. That's right. He's such an overachiever, he wants to just go to the next, you know, like do his whole body. Good. Good boy. There you go, buddy. Yep, we agree on that same moment. Perfect. That he could just let go in his jaw a little bit in this pole. Yeah, well, there's like 1,000 things happening. There's tractors and screaming horses and... There you go, buddy. And a 10-meter circle when you get to B. Yep, then he comes around with you. Good for you. Yeah, got a little bit of loss in balance, but that's okay. We'll come back and fix that later. We'll do another 10-meter circle at C, and again, think of the two halves as being really equal. Organize yourself so that you can keep him in that place. Yeah, good for you, John. Good for you. Good. Good. And straight ahead. Good boy. Yep, I would stay sitting. He's ready. Stay with your dad. Good boy. There you go. Yep, you're still going to stay with your dad. Yep. There you go, buddy. Off to work you go. Excellent. Shoulder in. Push his hips out. Go into a shoulder in. Yep, that's okay, buddy. He says, I'd prefer to canter right now. Good try. Just a little tiny bit of a shoulder in. A little rounder. Just going to warm up his back a little bit more. Yep. Yep, good job. That's my friend. Good boy. And a shoulder in again, just really slow, really balanced. That was really good. Yep, stay still. Stay still. There you go, buddy. There you go. And straighten. Over the back. Perfect. Change rein. I would stay a little slower like this for just a second until his back comes up a little bit more. Good for you. I know he's got a great big giant floaty trot, but I want him to be a little more focused for a second. I know there's horses running everywhere and tractors and stuff. Great. Yes. Well done. Good thought. Well done. And one more shoulder in right.
Lovely.
I'd pay money for that one. That was beautiful. He says, like this, Dad? Yes, like that. Doing okay?
Yes.
Shoulder in from K to E, and then at E, a 10-meter circle. So set up your shoulder in the corner. Push the hips out a tiny bit. Good. Good. And then slide on your 10-meter circle at E. Now, however much bending you have here, you have to have in the second half. That's it. And then a haunch is in from E to the end. So hold the bend starting now. Got it. Well, that was 3 pretty darn good scores. And straighten on your inside leg. Change rein across your diagonal. And again, it doesn't have to be a lengthening yet, just that he stays over his back. Teaching him to go across the diagonal and not fling themselves forward is pretty helpful. Dead straight. Really work on the straight piece. Yes, good boy. And over the back on the left. Good. Over the back again on the left. I know, you're warming up. Over the back again on the left rein. Yep. Stretch it down. Yep. Shoulder in from E to B, or from corner to B, F to B. Good. 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 Could be a little round your left, just a hair. There you go. 10-meter circle at B. Look up. Let him reach a little bit forward into the trot. There. Right in there. Right in there. And then a haunch is in from B to the corner. Starting now. Wow, can he do a haunches in? And straighten. And I want to do this same side one more time. Shoulder in left again. Yep, sit into that rein. There you go, sit into it. Don't let him lift you out of the saddle. 10-meter circle. Yep, that's okay, he's building muscle. There, your right hand is better. Sit into that right rein. Elbow to your body, sit into it. Good job. And a haunch is in. I know, there's fun things out there. Not too bent in the neck. There you go. There you go, buddy. He would go right into that corner, wouldn't he?
Yes.
Yes. Straight ahead, just straight down the wall. And we can go a little bit forward if the neck stays good. Not too tight in the neck. There you go. Excellent. Just manipulate the energy. Good job. Yep. Show him he has to stay over his back in the left. He can't just get floaty in the front. There you go. And a halt at C. Okay, we're going to do that again in a second. Trot again. And we need to halt so that he doesn't rein back, okay? And trot again. That's okay. This is just figuring out the pieces. And because he's so sensitive in the back, you might have to let him creep forward into the halt rather than go backwards into the halt. And halt again. Yes, I loved how you did that. And trot again. Good boy. Okay, that's beautiful. And then one more halt in front of me, or near me. And a rein back. And now we can go back 3 steps. There you go. And walk out. Oh my God, does he have a good rein back?
All right.
That was a really good score. They don't step backwards like that all the time. Good. He must feel really good right there, right? Yeah, I was going to say that's got to feel really nice. That is your hips to your hands, over and over and over to make that neck stretch. Well, little did I know until after your lesson yesterday that you had back surgery, all kinds of back problems. But you sit really square, straight ahead again. That you ride your hips towards his ears. Good for you. Boy, and then it just gets more and more and more beautiful. There's moments in a lesson when you just sit there and watch them and you think, I just want to look at that. That wall was that. That was really nice. Come a little tiny bit more forward on the next long wall, just playing with it. It was just so correct in form. Yep. Yep. There. And now his back stayed up. Feel that? When you went forward, now bring it back a little bit, thinking about passage. We're not going to really passage, but he's got to bring his tummy up. So he's got to be a little rounder, and he's got to do a little bit of like a horsey sit-up. So his tummy comes up, his neck goes out. That's what makes passages beautiful. That's what makes Tira's horses beautiful, is they raise their bellies. That's way better there. And that's why your hips have to be a part of this. Now bring it back again. Play with a little bit of short steps. Yep, rounder though. Once they hollow, then you're screwed. Just get out. Yep. He has to understand the idea of short steps, which is to come over the top line. Yes, that's why we bother to do half halt steps. And trot again. Super. Super. Yes, that's the idea right there. I know it doesn't feel exciting, but that's the idea. And out again. In the beginning, short steps are about balance, and that the half halt can be sustained a bit longer. Super. Straight ahead. And forward a little. As straight as you can make it. Good. And slightly back, hips to your hands, neck goes out. Get him a little more supple in the neck. Yep, that's right. Get his mouth to release. There, John, that kind of a half halt. How'd that feel? Then we're going to do the same thing again the next long wall. We're going to go out, and then we're going to bring him back and try to keep him supple over the back. We're just doing, like I said, little horsey calisthenics here. Come out. So someday when we need it for the passage, you have it. And bring it back. That was from your seat. That was really good. That was really, really, really good. And out. Well done. And see, still on your seat. Feel it? That's really nice. I know. Let's do that one more time. A little bit out, a little bit back. It's not going to be an impressive exercise. It's going to be a very subtle, beautiful exercise. And you come out from your seat. Good. And then you come back from your seat. You got it. That makes them strong. Yep. And one more trot. Yep. He tried though. Right. He was in the right place. Trot again. Good. But you want to be very playfully in that space. Yeah, feel? Then it gets a little passage. That was really good. And out. And it's like you don't need a passage for years, but you want to teach him that it's not something to be afraid of. And that you're building his back at the same time. And then he won't learn a cowboy passage with his back locked. Yeah, that's it. Playing with the trot like you're dancing. Yep. And back a bit from your seat. Yes, trot, trot, trot. Good boy. Yes, yes, yes. Feel how beautiful that was? And a walk. Give him a little break. Of all the things that I have learned, if I go back now and start young horses, I try to play a little more in the half steps like this, and not tell myself there's any, that they have to become anything at this point, but that he learns to come back onto my seat, because then you teach him the half halts with the sitting motion better, and they take weight on their hind legs and they take weight in their back, and then when you go 3 or 4 years from now to the half steps and you really want them to gain ground, they don't lock their back and get flaked out. It just doesn't hurt these, especially Siberian horses that have a little bit of sit in them to start with, to learn that it's not so scary. And unfortunately, when you try that on warm bloods, it can be really scary because they get really upset. But these Iberian horses just sit. And they like it. Yeah. Yep, that's exactly how I do it. And my medium trot happens when I bring my leg forward towards their shoulders and lift up their shoulders. Yep, that's how I've done it for years, and that seems to help. And then you bring your leg back to go back. And when you go to Piaffe, your leg is at its farthest place back. When you're teaching Piaffe, that's the farthest. When your leg bends all the way back is where the Piaffe button should live. Okay, buddy, you're a genius. Let's pick him up. He says, "Oh, we're gonna go on a trail ride over there in a second, I think." He's so cute. And once you got him organized, we'll canter. Yep, super. Tighten the left side of your stomach. And then your canter. Oh my gosh, she's really good about that. On a straight line. That was beautiful. Yep, yep. And inside tummy muscles. Okay, large serpentine, no change of lead. It's 3 20-meter circles stacked on each other. It's huge. Don't get in a hurry. Good. Keep your left side strong to support it. And keep your turn going. So you go straight across the ring, one step. This horse could score a 70% right now in the 2-3 if you keep this up. Don't get in the corner. There you go. And then ride this corner. Yep, that's the circle. Yep. And straight ahead and a little forward, because this is strong 7.5 to 8. Yep. We'll do that serpentine one more time. And again, your serpentine begins at C, so you ride that corner and you don't ride this one. That's right. Good. You travel over the center line. You keep your weight to the left so he doesn't feel like he needs to change. Good boy. That's right, so you're perpendicular. Good job. And now stay on this. We're going to change rein, it says, from F to E, but it's not really. It's like a circle. And then you walk before center line. And ho. And you're walking to E. Now walk back. We're going to do that again. Turn left again. And I'm going to show you how I ride that. Because the way it's written is not the way you ride it. It's typical of all stupid dressage tests. So you've just finished your serpentine. And it says change rein from F to E. And what you actually do are you're going to keep this nice loop that you just kind of had. And keep an outside rein right here. So right here is I think about 4 steps off that wall. And back down the block again. If you look at the line, it's almost a circle. Does that make sense? So you don't do what everybody does, which is straightening, almost pushing to the left and then up and around. So what I do is to school that. We're going to get back on a 20-meter circle to canter again on the left. And I practice coming down to a walk before I cross the center line of the circle. So that's how I school that first. So I keep that outside rein as important. You've got a nice connection to the outside rein. Now, and come out of this corner before you hit the center line, stay on the walk. See how nice that works?
Yeah.
And then you just wander over to the left and canter off again. If you do that in that same way, rather than trying to make it straight in the beginning, allow that little bit of curve. And then you set it up better. And then they learn it, and then you can straighten it over time a little bit more. Does that make sense? Then you can kind of ride it. Let's try that one more time. But I do it every single time. I leave the circle, and then I say, ho. If you do it right about here, you're almost going to E anyway. You know what I mean? And do it a little early. You'll get, if voice is still learning it, they'll say early but clear, but they're so happy to see a walk transition instead of 3 trot steps.
Yes.
That you can hardly stand it because you see a beautiful transition down there. Good. Perfect. We're going to go to the right, drop the E, and canter off. Now you just straighten that line out and practice it until it's easy. But you're much kinder to the horse doing it that way in the training part of it. Does that make sense, John? Because then you're setting him up for success. And then you slowly straighten that out rather than trying to go straight first.
This is the sweetest horse. Isn't he lovely? Yeah. surgery. Yeah. He had problems. It's really close to a miracle because he did not think he could even do this.
How long ago was it? 12 years ago?
Something like that. 12, 13. Oops.
You'll figure that out in no time. If I think of it as a circle, it's a whole lot easier. When I do my lengthenings, I realize, I recognize as a judge that there's a part of that has to go to position. And most people do, what most people do is they go around the corner and they keep accelerating, or they think they're accelerating. And then they stay, starting at about E, and just start to just fall down on the good canter. And instead of most people think of it as these are certain places that happen, like in the corner, much is under the somewhere at the back. Whenever I have a pass by E, it actually is harder than you think it is, because once it keeps on jumping and jumping and jumping, and I keep that, and I tell myself, I can't let this down until E. Then I have to keep starting from D to K and make sure I'm darn good and fast. Because if I think of that, if I think of that lengthening as I have, whatever I have to keep it. I have to keep it. I have to keep it. You actually ride more, I won't say aggressively, but more actively. And then accelerate. And then what happens is they go flat. Every one of them gets flat, and you come to the corner and they get right. Yep. And then you bring it back. But you tell yourself, I can't let down until I get down to the second to last letter. Let's try one more can lengthening, and then we'll really truly give him a break. I just want to do this while you're thinking about it.
Okay.
He's being really good about the
Yeah.
whole thing.
Good boy.
Yeah. He's really nice, but so we'll pick up the canner, make a circle. I'm throwing a ton of stuff at you, but you'll have the whole 2-3. So the test, we've just done a simple change. So right 2 corners, leave your corners.
Oh, okay.
Yep, in your corner, set up for your lengthening, so turn. Now, accelerate, go, 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 go. Now hold it, 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 and start to decelerate. And see how you took the time to get a really good commercial can of that feel? And that really makes an impression, because it shows that you know where the positions are. Good. One more lengthening, this one he doesn't seem like he's mad with yet. Good. So you got the corner correctly. Straighten. Accelerate. Okay, whatever you have, you gotta keep. Keep it. Back, 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 back. And by the time I see you come on that corner, it's a judge, you're back to back. And you're back. Good. And just letting you know, we have supporters for those kinds of things. It's important that you show transition without really lengthening it herself, where we don't, we just know that somewhere along that wall, 1, 2, or 3. Whereas the medium canter and the extended canter have a transition. It's supposed to happen in the second level course within about 4 steps. So 4 steps out, 4 steps back. And when you know that's what we're doing, so as a judge, I'm sitting here, I'm thinking, go, 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 and then you see them maintain it rather than fading. And the typical thing we write is fading, lost power, all those things. Whereas when you see a really good rider ride, they really clearly know they're in their canter that they want, and they ride it across. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm giving you all the thought processes of that test. Because I think half the time, the reason scores aren't very good is because people don't know what the judge is looking for.
I don't think he's ridden 2-3. I think he's ridden.
Well, he's ridden it now. He's got the whole
yeah,
thing.
Exactly. And the Catling fittings in this horse are
Oh, just super duper.
absolutely wonderful. free walk, he can sometimes overcurl a little
Yeah.
bit, not reach out.
He and every other horse with a long neck.
Yeah, I mean.
We're talking about your free walk and that he could have a little longer neck, but we was just saying every other horse out there with those kind of soft necks can be a little like that.
Yeah.
Okay, pick him up. We're just gonna, for fun, ride that test, okay? We didn't do any half turns. Do we need to warm up the half turns? Okay, well, then we may end up just working on the half turns. I didn't know if we had problems. I never thought about that. So let's work on that. Let's finish with that. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna do an exercise where we do a square. I'm sure you've done that before, right? Okay, so let's do that. Let's do a square with quarter turns when you're ready. So turn early. And we'll talk about the half turns and how they're ridden. So we go forward. Now we ride a collected walk. We bring it back. And then push his shoulders around his hips. Well, that was lovely. Go forward again. So you go back to medium walk. Push his neck out. Rounder. Good. Collect the walk for 3 steps. And then push the shoulders around the hips. Good. And ride out again. Collect the walk. There's 3 steps to the pirouette. Push the shoulders around the hips. Good. And ride out. And now let's do a half pirouette. So collect the walk first, which is what everybody forgets. Good. And then push the shoulders around. Push the shoulders. Give him a little kick with your right leg. We're going to do that one more time because as you got started, he started to push against your leg. So as you're walking straight ahead, check to see that when you collect that he doesn't lean against your right leg, okay? So ride him in collection for a few steps and don't let him lean. Make sure he's listening in the collected walk. Yep, now it will work. Now your pirouette or your half turn. Yep. Better. Got a little wide in the last step. So what's happening is we have to get him a little bit more off your right leg. Good. Yep, I would do that. Good. Collect. And what happens is it's the moment of collection that most horses fall apart at. Right hind forward. Right hind forward. Right hind forward. Good boy. You got a little crooked, but he's got a better turn. So straighten out. Now, tell yourself as you ride this that you have to keep the right hind leg going forward, the outside hind leg going forward, because if you don't, he's going to step on himself and go wide. So try that on this next one. Ride it a little bit larger, but tell yourself the right hind leg has to keep going towards his nose. Forward, forward, forward. Got a little too forward because it didn't get together, but we got the idea. What happens is if he gets too short, he tends to go sideways. So cluck him up, make him active, and convince him that that right hind leg has to still keep going towards your right hand. That's a good boy. Good. Now your turn. Right hind has to go towards your right hand. Yes, your right hind has to up, up, up. We're close in that, except that very last step. Straight out, and I want you to ride an 8-meter circle with the haunches in. His right hind leg has to keep going towards your right hand. Yep. Yes, that feeling. Feel it? That's your half turn feeling. Now the right hind is moving forward, but towards your hand. There you go. And walk out. We'll get him some forward going here again, and we'll do another turn. So you have to feel that you have that ability to do haunches in first. I know it's hard. This is a hard movement, and that's why we see it all the way to the Prix St. George. Think of a haunches in. Haunches in. Haunches in. Good, and get out. That was fine. Now let's do a couple quarter turns to the right and see what that right hind leg does. And that left hind leg does on this side. Forward, forward. That's where it has to keep walking. That was a really good example of keep it coming forward. Left hind goes to your left hand. Get up, left hind. Get up, left hind. Good. One more time, touch with your whip. So when he collects, he doesn't step wide. Okay, this is very interesting. I know exactly what we're going to do with this one. So what he does is he steps right with his right hind. He doesn't step straight with his right hind. So make a 10-meter circle. Get him on 2 reins. Almost counterflex. We got to convince that right hind leg not to go quite so much to the midline. Yep. Almost counterflex. Yep, good boy. Okay, now the shoulder's a little bit more mobile. And now a quarter turn. But you can't use any right leg or a very little right leg because he's already narrow. There you go, buddy. Good for you.
So you're almost doing a counter bend.
Yeah, I'm almost counter flexing, yep, because I'm trying to get that right hind leg not to go so right.
Yeah.
There you go. We're playing a little game of how to make his legs move. Yes, you got the idea, John. You got the idea. And I know it's a little bit of an unusual way to do it, but I'm trying to not make his right hind go so right. I'm trying to just convince him that would be better for him to stay with that right hind leg going towards his nose instead of towards the other leg. That's a boy. That's a boy. Good boy. Yep, watch the right hind. As soon as it comes right, there's nowhere for the left leg to go. Good. Just playing. That's it. That's the game. That's the game. He's thinking, holy crap, that's a weird thing to do. Yes, good boy. And now start to add a little bit of right feel, so a little bit of straightening. Yes. Yes. You got it. You got it. I want you to move to the right, buddy. Good boy. Good boy. Did you feel it?
Yeah.
That right hind starts to move a little bit more right. So that's right. That's right. We'll do one more again. I don't care if it's large, but remind yourself that right hind leg has got to stay a little bit to the right. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Yes, good boy. And then let him out of it. So here's my thought process. I'm going to show you with walking what he does, and I think you can probably see it. And I had a really good horse that did the same thing before. So this right hind leg wants to go here. And it just does. That's kind of his natural place. Start your half turn, and this leg goes here, and then this leg goes here, and then it goes back. And so you never quite get it. All I'm trying to do is to balance in such a way that we kind of talk this leg into at least going here, if not here, at least not going here. Does that make sense? So what we're trying to do is to look at the mirror, you can do that too, you're working at it. But any way you can convince, that, and you can try haunches in this direction, but I have a feeling he's going to take those legs a little bit. So let's walk straight ahead. Let's see what happens if you bend him back to the right and circle around. Let go of the counter flexion and see what happens if you ride a haunches in, but I think he's going to get out of hands.
Waiting on you.
Yeah, you can't quit something
There you go. Now the right hind is trying to come a little bit. Yep, you got it. Yes, there. Feel it? Yeah, yeah, yeah. You've got good feel, John. You've got a good feel for what's happening. Just convincing that that's it. And you know how this does this? If you ever want to watch a horse do it, that's exactly what I do.
says the same thing, so confirmed on this one.
There, feel that? Did you feel him sit down and go to the right with his hind leg? That was really, really good riding time. And so you have to go right now for today. That's it. And run that. So for today, don't let a judge look at your right hand turn right now because, or you can let him look at me. Except the 5. This is what I always tell, but except the 5 at this point because you're gonna get it. But if you try to ride it in the, haunches and classical style, it's not gonna find with a real bend to the right. Instead, what I would try to do is exactly what you did here. You go shift your weight to the right and again to follow your weight just like that. Even if it means that was exact. So the hind legs were correct then. You feel that? I don't care what he's gonna do. His hind legs were correct, and he needs to have his hind legs correct because that's what he's doing. Your wife starts to step on himself. Then you turn it off and it's jump. Does that make sense? So you just
Cold stepping in.
rather than using That's one of the hardest things to teach. And you pick that feel up of his hind legs not falling out. That was really impressive. That's a hard thing to explain to
Yeah,
somebody.
he follows my weight.
He follows your weight. You're good friends. He's not afraid of you. He lets you do things. Kathy Connolly, I remember when she was doing some in-hand work and stuff like that, some in-hand work with me, she said, sometimes I don't think horses even know they have back legs. And I do, and then she'd do in-hand work and all of a sudden their hind legs have even all this cool thing. But I think her point being is that they can't see them. They know they hold their tail up. I mean, they know they have back legs. But they don't think, how how did I just put my right hind leg? You know, I think they do know about their front legs a little bit because they paw and they move them around. But I don't think they know they have a pair of back legs, and that when you sit a certain way, that this leg is supposed to come here instead of here. You know, they just don't. It doesn't occur to them that those legs have a placement in space. Whereas I think their front legs, they do know a little bit about. They do. They're certainly not manipulating things with their front legs, but they do it a little bit more. So anyway, it's an interesting thought. You have the singular moment. That was really fun. I really enjoyed
Thank you
that.
very much.
Yeah, wonderful horse.
Yes.
Brought to you by Equestrian Video Productions LLC.